Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you about the deck I used for my infinite climb this month. I'm trying to use like different decks every month just sort of to test myself, which sort of plays into this deck a little bit. Because this month we're going to go with an Agatha Harkness slash Loki deck. And it's kind of fun to just take an Agatha Harkness deck to infinite, sort of just to show that it can be done. But this one has a pretty distinct strategy for how it works. So Agatha Harkness is a card that plays your cards for you. She's a 6/14, so it's like a lot of power for the energy cost, but she plays your cards for you, and she also takes all of the boosters at the end of the match. So at the end of this, I have like 2,000 Agatha boosters or something, which I'm not sure if I'm ever going to use them for anything. But Agatha does a lot of things that a lot of people don't really understand or like know how she works. Number one, and this is the reason why I did this, is if you play Agatha, you start with one extra card in your hand. She draws herself at the start of the game. So Agatha decks have one more card in hand than other decks do from the beginning, which is excellent if you are playing Loki, right? And the second thing you need to know about Agatha is that she will always play herself if she can. So if you have the energy for it or whatever, then that's her biggest priority, is playing herself. And the third part you need to know about Agatha is that if Agatha, for some reason, leaves your hand, then you regain control, and you can start like playing yourself again. So Agatha decks, like serious Agatha decks, because that is in fact a thing, they try to get rid of her. They try to get Agatha out of your hand as quickly as possible so that you can start playing your cards again. Typically, the prevailing strategies have been two different ones. One is using Wave. So what you do is you have Wave as your only 3-cost card. It's just like Wave, and then it's a bunch of 4, 5, and 6-cost cards and Agatha. So the hope is that you draw Wave on turn 3, you play Wave on turn 3, and then on turn 4, Agatha is going to play herself. And then you get control back, and turn 5 and 6, you can like sort of dump out some big stuff. And the 14 power from Agatha is like typically good enough. Another strategy, which we are using in this deck as well, is Lady Sif. Lady Sif will always discard the highest cost card in your hand. Agatha will always start in your hand, and if Agatha is the only 6-cost card you have in your deck, then Lady Sif is always going to discard Agatha, upon which you get control back. This pairs very well with Ghost Rider, which pulls back a discarded card, so you can do a really, really strong play of turn 3 Lady Sif, and then turn 4 Ghost Rider to put 17 power down on a lane, which is incredibly strong. But now we have a third option, and the third option is Loki. So if you play Loki on turn 3, he's going to remove Agatha and replace her with something else. Again, you get control back of your deck. And I actually think this is better than the previous strategies of Wave, because Wave plays herself on turn 3 and Agatha on turn 4, so you only get 2 turns to actually play your cards the way you want to. Here, with Loki, Agatha is removed from your hand on turn 3, just like she is with Lady Sif. So you get 3 turns of being able to actually play by yourself. To this end, we also have the Collector to pair with Loki. So if you play the Collector on turn 2 and then Loki on turn 3, then Collector gets a huge buff, especially if you have Agatha, because then you have more cards in your starting hand, and you just get like a really, really good start to your game. I will say, though, that the main reason why I am running the Collector in this deck is because so many other people are playing Loki decks. And if you have the Collector out and you play your Loki, it's very possible that you get another Loki. You play that, you get another Loki. You play that, you get another Loki. And you can just cycle and replace your hand over and over and over again and make your Collector like massively big. But like when the Mobius gets printed in a couple of weeks and people are going to start running that, I think Loki decks are going to fall out of favor a little bit, and I don't think the Collector is going to be as good anymore. And I'm actually going to recommend you to, if you play this deck in the future, ditch the Collector, replace him with something else, because he can screw up your curve. The idea is that you can't give Agatha too many options. If Agatha has a choice between the Collector or Loki on turn 3, then sometimes she's going to play the Collector instead. She doesn't always play the highest cost card that she can play. She's kind of random in what she plays. So the Collector can actually screw up your game plan quite a bit. The other thing that can screw up your game plan is locations. Camp Lehigh, giving you a random 3-cost card in your hand. Sometimes Agatha plays that instead of what she's supposed to play. You can get +1 cost to a card in your hand. You can get cards discarded from your hand. A bunch of stuff that just makes Agatha not do what she's supposed to do. So this is actually a deck where you retreat pretty often if something goes wrong in those first 3 turns. Either you're screwed by drawing the Collector at a bad moment, or you're screwed by a location. But it still has a positive cube rate, even though it doesn't have a positive win rate. This deck has like a less than 50% win rate, because you retreat a lot and just lose 1 cube, lose 1 cube, lose 1 cube. But then when things actually go the way they're supposed to do in the first couple of turns, then you typically snap and you typically win a lot of cubes. So you actually have a positive cube rate coupled with a negative win rate, which is quite interesting. So what you do then, after you've done your big strategy? Well, if you've played the Collector and you've played Loki, then, it's pretty random. You get whatever your opponent has, and you kind of have to just work around that, but your stuff is cost reduced. Some things are going to be better, some things are going to be worse. You're a bit unfavored against high evolutionary decks, because the cards that you get from Loki are going to be the unevolved version of the high evolutionary cards. So it's just a bunch of vanilla cards and not particularly good. Discard strategies can also be a bit hard to make work if you don't have an entire synergistic deck. But a lot of other decks, just getting their stuff but cost reduced is very strong, and you can leverage that into a win. But it does actually require you to have a bit of an extensive knowledge base regarding the meta, how different decks work, what the different opponents are playing, so that when you get those cards, you know what you're supposed to do with them. If you don't get the Loki strategy, it's instead going to be the Lady Sif Ghost Rider strategy. And that's a really cool thing about this deck, is that it sort of feels like you're playing 2 different decks. And you don't know in advance which one you're going to be playing. You're just starting the game and you'll see either it's going to be the Loki strategy or it's going to be the Lady Sif strategy, and you won't know in advance in any game which one it's going to be. Agatha decides that for you, and then you have 2 different game plans just being dependent on what she chooses. So for the Lady Sif strategy, a very common curve is Lady Sif on 3, then Ghost Rider on 4 to pull back Agatha. On turn 5 you slam down something like Black Bolt, and then turn 6 maybe Devil Dinosaur plus Stature, or Shang-Chi plus Stature, or Legion plus Stature, what do I know. Another option would be playing Sera on turn 5, so that you can do a very big surprise turn on turn 6 by playing both Shang-Chi and Ghost Rider, which can be a 30-point power swing or something, no one ever sees it coming. Legion is in this deck just because Legion is a fantastic card by itself, and Legion can win you matches by himself. Typically, Legion on turn 5 can just be game winning by itself. Or if your opponent plays something with magic and they've created a limbo, and then you just play Legion on turn 6 to end the game, coupled with Stature sometimes. Very strong. Devil Dino feels nice in this deck just because you're starting with more cards in your hand than you normally would, thanks to Agatha. And finally, we have America Chavez. America Chavez is very good in this deck specifically because you have your 2 activators. Your 2 activators for your entire strategy are Lady Sif and Loki. And you want to draw one of those 2 cards at the latest by turn 3. So Agatha means you have 1 more card in your starting hand than you're supposed to. And America Chavez is always going to be drawn at turn 6. She starts in the bottom of your deck. And these 2 things coupled together means, and you have 2 activators, means that you actually are very likely to draw either Lady Sif or Loki by turn 3. You are going to draw one of them in the majority of all of your games. So it only comes down to sort of just luck of the draw, and not drawing the Collector on turn 3, because that can sometimes screw you up, or getting a bad location that screws over your strategy. But that's basically it. You hold out until turn 3, Agatha plays one of your activators, and then you create a strategy on the fly from there with a very strong deck. Either Loki stuff or Lady Sif Ghost Rider stuff, and that's going to carry you all the way up to infinite. So I'm going to end this video by simply showing you my climb from, I think, rank 95 or something upward, just to see basically like how creative and flexible this deck is, and how every single game sort of becomes its own little microcosm of events, and you just have to sort of plan out the strategy as you go along, which is quite fun. And yeah, it's an Agatha deck that's strong enough to reach infinite. If you think that sounds fun, then go for it. Another cute thing about this deck right now, since so many other people are playing Loki decks, is that quite often when your opponents play Loki, you're going to give them your Agatha and they are going to lose control of their deck. And that can lead to a couple of really fun suboptimal plays. She's going to get cost reduced, so she's going to play herself on turn 5 and they're going to have control back for the last turn. But by then she might have screwed them up so much that they can't win anyway. So you'll typically see people playing Loki against you and then like retreating after a couple of big misplays because Agatha is just ruining everything for them, which is hilarious. So with that being said, please keep watching the video and enjoy some gameplay of me watching or me reaching infinite, and I'll see you again some other time for something completely different. Let's see how long it'll take to hit infinite. So this is great as a start. I'm not sure if I love Bar Sinister because I don't have control yet. I won't get control until turn 3 when either Loki or Lady Sif gets rid of my Agatha. My worry here is drawing the Collector. If I draw the Collector on turn 3, then sometimes Agatha plays the Collector instead of Loki or Lady Sif, so we're hoping that that doesn't happen. And like if that happens, you sort of almost always retreat. So it's a fun deck because it has like a below 50% win rate because you have to retreat so often because things just get weird in the first couple of turns. But you still like just get a lot of cubes with it and you... Yep, see, exactly. That is the one thing that you don't want to happen, drawing the Collector on turn 3, and then it screws everything up. So it's to the point where I'm considering dropping the Collector from this deck because it just messes with you so often. Okay, in this case it was fine. You got the Loki, like, because here she could have like just gone crazy and just played Ghost Rider and then like the game is over. But now we're getting rid of Agatha. We're getting the Collector buff. It's just that we're getting it a turn late, and this is probably gonna be enough to steal the kill in here. So we're staying in this game. Bar Sinister is of course a problem because he's gonna play Venom, and then the Venom is... Like, we're gonna get a cheap death here, which is nice. We have both death and null, which is honestly pretty fantastic. What we're missing is just activators for destroying, so we're hoping our opponent's gonna do that for us. Now, but yeah, the reason why I still have Collector in the deck is because everyone else is also playing Loki. So if you play the Collector and then you play Loki, you get a new Loki, and then you play Loki, you get a new Loki. You can just replace your hand over and over again every turn, and that's gonna do the trick. So he's probably gonna do something crazy, like... do you think he's gonna Arnim this? I don't know. I don't know. We can obviously play like Null and Death, which is nice. So we're gonna want to drop all of this here and hope that at least some of this gets destroyed, because I want to play both Null and Death next turn if I can. Here's his Death. Good. That's one cost reduction for Death. Good. Excellent. Not Sabretooth. Okay. So we didn't get exactly what we wanted. We wanted Death to get down to 1, so that we can play both Null and Death. Which we can't now. Now what's good is he's probably gonna play Null here, but Venom is blocking, and Venom is only 12 power. His Null is also 21. So what I can do is... I can play Null here, and I'm gonna win this lane. I'm winning this lane. Even if he like does an Arnim Zola here, I'm still gonna win this. And I'll just play this here. Who knows? So I'm gonna snap here, and odds are pretty low that he is gonna concede. So it's probably gonna be 4 cubes. Oh no, he retreated. It was a gamble. It was like, yeah, I could have won 2 cubes, but I thought the chances were pretty good that I was gonna win 4 cubes. I thought the chances were pretty good that he was gonna stay in the match. But he must have understood that I had a copy of Null. Oh well. Oh well. Starting off with a win. But we gotta get more cubes than that. We can't just get 1 cube per game. Alright, so we don't have any of the activators yet, but the thing about Agatha is that if you play her, you get an extra card in your starting hand. So we do have a big starting hand, and we also have America Chavez in the deck, which means that, like, since we have 2 activators for getting rid of Agatha, both Loki and Lady Sif, the odds of drawing either of them on turn 3 are very high. I haven't calculated exactly how high, but it's like 80-90% or something. So we didn't get it this game, which is a bit unlucky, unfortunately, because we don't have all that many cards left in the deck. It's like 5 and 1 is America Chavez, so it's 4 cards left. Now this is obviously like not a good game. This is probably going to be a retreat. It's just that, like, I don't need to yet because he hasn't snapped yet. Obviously with this boneheaded Shang-Chi play here, it's pretty likely that my opponent is going to snap here. Like, I've got nothing going on in this game at all. So, like, as soon as he snaps, I'm gonna retreat. And either he snaps here, but, like, it doesn't matter. I have no reason to stay in this game. This game is already lost. He's gonna play out Agatha there. It's no, because I only have 7 power here. That's not gonna be enough. He's gonna take this lane. He already has this lane. No reason to stay. I'm just gonna lose a cube. And unfortunately, you know, that's what can happen with this deck. You have to be very patient when you're playing this deck. You have to be like, just accept the fact that you're gonna be retreating a lot because the first couple of turns are gonna be wonky. Sometimes you're gonna get a location that gives you a random card in your hand, and Agatha is gonna play that card instead of Loki or Lady Sif. Sometimes you're gonna get, you're not gonna draw your activators in time. Sometimes she's gonna play the collector instead. It happens. But you're gonna draw Loki or Lady Sif very often. Often enough. So my original version of this deck actually had 3 activators. I had Sera, Wave. I had Wave in the deck as well. But it's like, you don't need it. 2 activators is just fine. And I think these are better because with Wave you play her on turn 3 and then you play Agatha on turn 4. So it's a turn later where you get control back. So you only get 2 turns where you are in control. Another game where I didn't draw any of my activators. That is a bit unlucky. It's fine though. We're gonna play Ghost Rider here and it's not gonna do anything. No, we're not gonna play anything. I'm wrong. Which is a shame, because since my opponent has Quinjet Mirage armor, it's like, this is, now I'm facing someone else who's playing a Loki deck. So, I really was hoping she was gonna play Loki there, because then it would have been worth it to stay in. Then we would have been able to do some crazy stuff. Now, this game is probably lost. Our last ditch effort was, you know, Loki coming out here. I ran another version of this deck before that used Jubilee, which is also sort of like a fail-safe, where sometimes Agatha will play, he snaps, I retreat. Sometimes Agatha will play like something wrong, she doesn't play the activator on turn 3 or you haven't drawn them. And then you can play Jubilee on turn 4 and Jubilee can pull one of the activators. But I felt that it was too much of a gamble and there were too many games where Jubilee didn't do like anything meaningful. So I tried to just like tighten up the deck list. I'm still at the point where like if Loki falls out of favor and everyone stops running Loki / collector decks, I'm probably gonna take the collector out of the deck as well. For now he can stay in. So this is good. We have the collector early, which means collector is gonna be played on turn 2. And then we have Lady Sif and Ghost Rider in hand. So we can draw Loki and do a Loki game. Or we can draw, play Lady Sif and do the Lady Sif Ghost Rider play. It's kind of a cool deck because it's like you have 2 different decks. Yep, okay, so we're not gonna do the Lady Sif Ghost Rider play this game. We're gonna do a Loki game, which is fine because Quinjet Angela means that my opponent is also doing a Loki deck. Unfortunately, our collector is gonna die. He's gonna play something there to just get rid of it. Maybe we can steal an armor. No. But we did get another collector, and we did get Nick Fury, Kitty Pryde. We didn't get a second Loki. Which is sad, because I know he has Loki in his deck. We just got a bit unlucky and didn't get Loki. Now, we can do some fun stuff here. We've practically already won, because we have Rickety Bridge and we have Legion. I'm gonna show you how this is basically a guaranteed win. So, we're gonna put out the Collector. We're gonna put out Kitty Pryde. And Nick Fury. I feel like I should snap here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe I could even like do Legion on Hellfire Club. That blocks him from playing his Kitty Pryde. At least for the final turn. I can play mine, because mine is 0 cost, thanks to Loki. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Odin on Hellfire Club is gonna be such a huge buff on my collectors. So I might do that rather than the Legion play. Because obviously, like, next turn, if I do Legion here, everything's gonna die. And then next turn, I have 0 cost Kitty Pryde, plus a 6 cost like America Chavez. And I'll be able to play like 2 lanes. I probably also can play 2 lanes. How do we guarantee the win? How do we guarantee it? You know what? I think Necrosha might be the play. Yeah. Because now we're saving this collector as well. We're removing the Rickety Bridge. I like that play. My opponent snaps, that's great. Because we're going to do Odin on Hellfire Club on turn 6. Yeah, so he's going to play something in the left lane. He's going to try to destroy my collector. It's not going to work. Oh, it did work! That's such a weird play. Why would he do it that way? I don't understand that. Oh well. Still feel like our collector is going to beat his collector with the Odin buff here. So Kitty Pryde here should be enough to take this lane. It's 4 power versus 3 power, so he'd have to reinforce it. Odin here means I definitely take this lane. And this buff, it's going to trigger Nick Fury and Loki, so it's going to be plus 5, 6, 7. Should win here too. So I have a pretty good opportunity here to take all 3 lanes. I could of course abandon this lane, strengthen this one up a little bit more, which might be the play. Might be. Because he has to just play anything here, right? And he can play anything here and steal some things here and abandon this one. So I think I won't be able to take left lane anyway. So let's do this play. Yep. It was correct to abandon this lane. Jeff Coulson. Now this should be a win for me. Yes. Boom. And here comes huge collector buff. And I win. Wonderful. 8 cubes, that's what we want to see. Ching ching, and we're up to rank 97. Thank you, Agatha. She's taking all of my boosters. I'm not getting any boosters for any of my cards. I want to upgrade Stature. She looks so so sad with that white border, but unfortunately, Agatha is laying claim to my boosters. Okay, so Sakar can be fun because it can just pull out Agatha. And then we're good. Oh, pulls out Loki. That's great. I don't mind it. Look at that. We get a collector. What? Oh no. He pulled out Legion. Okay, no more Shang-Chi for you. Oh my god. We're just gonna pull out our hands? No, okay, fine. Hey. And what do we do now? What the hell do we do now? Man, I don't know. Neither of us has any cards in our hand. Which is good, because now if he plays Loki, he's not gonna get like a whole lot out of it, because his hand is empty. I got nothing. I got nothing, mate. Okay, he gets his collector out. Still nothing. At least I can do Black Bolt on turn 5 and then Sera Stature on turn 6. Yeah, because I'm always drawing America Chavez on turn 6, so I'm not going to draw a Ghost Rider. So I have no reason to play Lady Sif. He's snapping. He's snapping after he played his Loki. What did he get? What did he get that makes him want to snap? Maybe another Loki? No, he's getting Agatha, and he's gonna play... Agatha is gonna play herself, right? Because Agatha is gonna be 5 cost. And that's gonna take a lane conclusively. And then he maybe feels like I won't be able to contest the 2 other lanes. Maybe. Let's see where Agatha ends up. Mid lane, good. I picked the right one by sacrificing the mid lane. Bit of a lucky break for me there. Now obviously, the highest power I can put here is Stature. That's 16, so if he can get one more card for... He has double collector, so if he generates anything at all, he's gonna win that lane. I can't generate anything from my collector, which is a sad. And now the cards he got from me, the only thing that generates new cards is Loki. I don't have any other cards in my deck that generate cards besides Loki. So the only question is, did he get another Loki from Loki? Like, I probably should retreat here. Probably should retreat, but I'm too curious. I'm too curious. Nick Fury, he had that in his deck and he drew that. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Oh well. Oh well. That was my bad. I should have retreated. That was 4 cubes I didn't need to lose. Could have lost just 2. We got Lady Sif. We want Ghost Rider. Or Loki. Well, now I kind of want Ghost Rider, so I can Shang-Chi his monster. If Loki comes out, we're gonna lose out on our Shang-Chi. He denied me a card draw. That is rough. But that's fine, because I still have the activator. It's just that like it's one less chance of pulling Ghost Rider. Putting rocks in my deck. Giving me bad draws. That is not what I want to see. Oh. Oh. Is this a snap? Because now we do Shang, and then Black Bolt, and then last turn is Stature, Ghost Rider. Yeah, let's go! Let us go. I can beat Hawks and Rocks. Olsen. Swoop. Now we do Black Bolt. Kind of plays itself at this point. Next turn, Ghost Rider left, Stature middle. He can Shang. No, Devil Dino. Sure. Sure. He still needs to play like 2 cards. So we're doing this. Let's play out the rock as well in case my opponent is playing Ronan the Accuser. Which he probably is not. No, we got this. Boom! Agatha. Oh yeah. That'll do it. No one expects the 4 energy, 17 power play. Alright, but we need to get back up. Losing that 8 cuber actually set us back a little bit. Oscorp Tower's dangerous. We gotta dodge it for 2 turns. You gotta draw an activator as well, which we still haven't done. Need either Loki or Lady Sif. And... that's a retreat. Look at that. Armor mid lane, Collector left lane, no activator. Nope. No point in staying here. I'm gonna lose this game. That's kind of nice. It's sort of like time effective in a way to play this deck, because like you can tell so early if you're supposed to leave or stay in the game. Shame. Alright, fun hand. We have Lady Sif, Ghost Rider, and we have Loki, so we'll see. We're facing a Kitty Pryde, so we're facing someone who's also running Loki. Obviously here we have like Lady Sif, Ghost Rider, Black Bolt, Stature. This is such a strong hand that I probably prefer the Lady Sif play. But against a Quinjet, Kitty Pryde, like Loki's also strong, so... Not the Collector! Uh-oh, we're gonna draw a card, we're gonna draw an extra card. No, we're not. Okay, so which one is it? It's Lady Sif. It's a Lady Sif game. He's snapping. That's okay, we got Ghost Rider into Black Bolt into Stature, Devil Dino. Like, we have our curve in hand. This game is gonna play itself, the only question is like who can generate the most power here. And... obviously Atlantis is nice. Can't play Ghost Rider here then. Which means Ghost Rider's gotta go here. Does he play Shang? Who knows? Ghost Rider go boom. Shang. Beautiful, beautiful Shang. So, next turn, Shang mid, Stature left. We're gonna snap back. Putting Black Bolt here also means that we can still contest this lane even if he Shangs Agatha. So this looks really good. This looks like it could be 8 cubes. Shang, we're still contesting. We are still contesting. Good. So Shang is gonna take this lane. And then it's just a question of like... Is he gonna play Kitty Pryde left? Is he gonna play like Kitty Pryde left, Devil Dino right? Maybe. Let's try it. Oof. Got him. Got him. There's my 8 cubes. Those are the 8 cubes I wanted. Thank you for my 8 cubes. And we're back on track, people. We're back on track. 96. That's only 1 away from 97. All right. I got a baby who's getting more and more unruly, so we gotta get them cubes fast. Ugh. Don't like that. He's playing high evolutionary. He's snapping right away. I mean, if we can... Look, if we can draw Ghost Rider here. And Lady Sif goes left. Right? Ghost Rider. Oh, I was really hoping Lady Sif was gonna go left. Because then Lady Sif takes Agatha and Devil Dinosaur. And then Ghost Rider brings both of them back. That would have been hilarious. Hilarious. Now this is a problem. No, Agatha is always gonna play herself. Ooh, that's juicy. That's real juicy. So Ghost Rider is just gonna bring back Stature. We got Onslaught. That's fine. So do we just Black Bolt? Or do we Devil Dino? I'm ahead now, so I can prevent him. I can remove Sinister London, right? If I just play Legion. Do I want to? Yeah, you know what? If I play Legion here, then that's gonna bump his onslaughts to 9 power, and then I can Shang one of them. Which sounds like a fun play.
All systems go.
Uh-huh.
All systems go. All
So,
systems go.
he's gonna play Tribunal here, right? Is he? Does that do anything? Does that do anything? Who knows? Because if I Shang this... No, we just win. We just win. We got him. Messed up his game plan. God, Legion's so good. Legion is so goddamn good. Alright. Let's see if we can make something happen here. If we can't, it's lunch break. If we can, it's lunch break. It's lunch break either way, people. Space Throne, let's just hope Loki doesn't go here. Vormir, I mean, that's fine. Collector there is actually fine. I don't mind that. We can make some stuff happen. I don't mind that. And that's also fine. Doing the Lady Sif as the way of getting rid of Agatha. I don't mind that either. And then we'll do Sera and then some crazy stuff? crazy stuff on turns 5 forward. What is this? Is this Galactus? What are we doing here, people? He has Daredevil. I'm gonna assume that he's gonna play Professor X on right. Legion here would be hilarious. But Devil Dino is actually gonna win that lane, so we're gonna do that. No? Not Xing it. Professor X mid? No, Hobgoblin mid. Hobgoblin mid. Okay. So we're doing Ghost Rider... Loki? I think he's gonna play Galactus left, right? Or Galactus mid. Galactus is coming here. The only question is like, which one is he putting it in? I have priority. If I play Loki, that's plus 6 power to the collector. No, plus 4. He's just gonna be at 6. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I've lost this game. He's gonna snap, right? And then I'm ready to retreat if he snaps. Because he's gonna play Galactus on left. If he has it. I'm ready. I'm hovering my mouse over the retreat button. Galactus mid? That's not Galactus. It's death. It's odd. Okay. So he can take... Can he take both of these? Can he take both? He'd need 6 power here, 3 power here. Can he do that? Maybe. Shang. Psylocke? Yo! Easiest game of my fucking life. Alright. There we go. 97. We're inching our way closer. 97 people. Okay, it is later in the evening. I've got my lunch. Went into the city, got myself some Thai sweet tea mochi balls that I'm eager to try a bit later. Played some games on my phone while I was in the city and got myself up to rank 99. So, baby is sleeping, which means I have to be quieter. I have to use my asthma voice and talk real close to the microphone. But hopefully we can squeeze in this last little run to 100. Let's see what we can make happen. We just gotta not get screwed by the locations and draw our activators. In this game, I have drawn both of my activators. So far I have not gotten screwed by a location. Now we just have to not get screwed by a location in the third turn, and we have to not draw the collector. Now, Dream Dimension can be a bit iffy, because it means that we can't play Black Bolt on turn 5 like we want to. Can't play Legion either. But this can be fine. So long, Agatha. Hoping to draw Ghost Rider. That's the one I was looking for. Obviously, if Dream Dimension wasn't here, we could do a really sweet play of Sera on turn 5. And then turn 6, Ghost Rider Shang-Chi for like a real big amount of like surprise power. But this is probably going to be the one chance we have to play Ghost Rider. And I think we're going to play Ghost Rider left lane. Protects it against the RNG of Danger Room. Our opponent is playing Dino Hawk with Shuri, so we're going to be able to Shang that lane. Unfortunately, we have priority, otherwise I could play Shang this turn. Now I can't. So I can't, unfortunately, really play anything at all here. Because if I play Loki, then I lose my Shang. I might need that Shang. But then again, he's playing Dino Hawk, so he also has Shang. And Dino Hawk could give me something proactive instead. So maybe I am supposed to play Loki here. And be able to have like a really explosive... Yeah, I knew it. I knew he had a Shang. Okay, so Captain Marvel is actually outside of Shang range. Can't Shang-Chi, which is unfortunate. But what I can do is I can Dark Hawk. It's not going to be that strong. He only has 3 cards in his deck, so it's going to be 6 power. But it's only 3 energy, which is nice. What do I have left in my deck that I haven't drawn yet? I haven't been paying attention. I haven't drawn the Collector. And the Iron Lad copying the Collector doesn't sound like the best play in the world. So I think what I'm supposed to do is just play Captain Marvel here. And if he's gonna Shang me, then if I play Darkhawk here, I protect that. No, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I'll play it here. And I think that's the play. Because if he Shangs this, then Captain Marvel can just fly over. But then his Captain Marvel... No, because I have... Yeah. Hehehe. Exactly. That was exactly what I wanted to happen. Okay. 2 more cubes. We are 5 cubes away from infinite. With an Agatha Harkness deck, which is fun. I tried to make a point out of reaching infinite with a different deck every season. I don't want to like just be a one-trick pony. I want to get good at the game. And I think that sort of played into my hand when it comes to this deck, because if you're playing a Loki deck, then you're going to get a bunch of your opponent's cards, and you kind of have to know what you're supposed to do with those cards. So this is actually a skill testing deck, because more often than not, you have to replicate your opponent's strategy, which means that you have to know what your opponent's strategy is. You have to know how to pilot a Shuri deck. You have to know how to pilot a Living Tribunal deck. High Evolutionary, not so much. I hate this. Why did you have to play Loki? I mean, at least you play Loki, so that's nice. But why did it have to be there? Now I'm down 5 power. My opponent is playing like Forge, Kitty Pryde, Angela, so we might get a Collector, and we might get another Loki. Oh, it's Shuri! He's playing Shuri. See, this is what I'm talking about. So, obviously the strategy is Shuri into Red Skull into Taskmaster, and like how can we supplement that now that we have it all at low cost. We also have Devil Dino, which is nice. So we have 4 energy this turn, which means we'll do Armor and Shuri. And we'll do armor shuri here. If we want to, we can play Vision here. Vision can move away, but Vision can't move into that spot. Yeah, Kitty Pryde and Jeff. So he has not been playing his shuri strategies. Maybe he just didn't draw it, right? So now we have his stuff, but we have, you know, his stuff, but better. So obviously I can't follow up with Angela, because then Taskmaster wouldn't work. So I can only do this. But this should be a winning play. He shouldn't be able to counter this. So I'm gonna snap here. Like, what's he gonna do? Shuri into Kitty Pryde into Taskmaster? That's not as strong as what I'm doing. Yeah. Shuri into Kitty Pryde. Sure, that's 16 power. So, next turn. Now, he can do Kitty Pryde and Taskmaster. That's 16 plus 16. Obviously, if he plays both of those here, then he's gonna narrowly steal this lane. But I'm gonna do Taskmaster here and take that lane. And then I'm also gonna play the Collector here. He'd have to play both in the right lane to take the right lane. But then he's gonna lose both of these lanes. So I don't see how he wins this. That is not good enough. Hasn't he done the math? He should have known that that's not good enough. 4 cubes. Look at that, gorgeous. Now we are one cube away from infinite. Don't need to snap. Don't even need to go all the way. If my opponent retreats, I go infinite. It all comes down to luck of the draw. This is okay, that's fine. It's a 2-cost card, but that's gonna get played out next turn. We just sort of have to dodge the Collector, right? We have an Activator, we have Lady Sif. Don't want any locations that give us more cards that we don't want. This is really important. So, Craven gets played here. This is actually really bad, Titan, because now Agatha goes down to 5. So now there's a chance that Lady Sif is not going to remove Agatha. Instead going to remove Legion, Stature or Sera, which would be really bad. And okay, so that's actually good now, because now it's going to remove 2 cards. Which increases the odds that it's going to remove Agatha. And then if I can draw Ghost Rider and hit Ghost Rider on Sinister London, then I get 2 cards back, which is a really strong play. So we're kind of banking on Agatha being gone here. That's spooky. Devil Dino, and nope, not Agatha. So we just have to get lucky here. We have to get really lucky and draw Ghost Rider and hope Ghost Rider plays itself here. Obviously Agatha is gonna play herself. I mean, that's an interesting play. I'm a bit miffed about losing my Shang. He's gonna play like Null or something here. He snaps, I retreat. Kinda should have figured that was a Galactus, but like, I don't know, I just got a bit unlucky. If I just gotten agency back, then might have been able to play around it, but I was just watching the game on autopilot. Not much I could have done there. That's the thing about this deck, you just have to not get screwed by the locations. That's it. Draw your activators, don't get screwed by the locations. Wakanda is a safe location. Drew the collector early, that's fine. Now we just need to draw either Loki or Lady Sif by turn 3. And not get screwed by a location. It's very simple. Westview is fine. Okay. Again, we have 6 cards in our deck. One of those is Agatha Chavez, so we technically have 5 cards in our deck. And we have 2 activators, so we have a near 50% chance at this point to draw one of them. It's a 40% chance. And we did not. Unlucky. So this is probably also gonna be a losing game. We can of course draw Loki next turn, play Loki and, you know, turn things around, but now odds are good that it's Ghost Rider that's gonna be played instead. Or Shang. It's all going tits up. I'm staying in it until he snaps. If he snaps, I'm just retreating. Had such a good run, right? Got so close. Can taste it. That's fine, people, don't worry about it. I've been 1 cube away from infinite many times. Eventually, you'll get there. It's nice that my own Shang is out of Shang range. Now, Titan here means that Agatha just plays herself, which is nice. Again with the Galactus. Again with the Galactus. And I don't have my Shang. It's awful. If I had my Shang here, then we'd be cooking. Unfortunately, we are not cooking. Again, you know, game's just going on autopilot. There's 3 games in a row where I have not gotten to play my cards, but that's how this deck works. This is why I am almost infinite, despite the fact that this deck has a below 50% win rate. I have like a 47% win rate. But I do have a positive cube rate. I'm earning more cubes than I'm losing. Because I'm retreating a lot. I'm retreating a lot and losing a lot of 1 cube games. But if I don't retreat and I stay, that typically means I win. So as always, just gotta draw one of my activators. Subterranean can screw me over here. And did. So, it might seem, you know, like the deck is sort of like not working or whatever, but like you have to understand that were it not for these crummy I can just retreat. Were it not for just a string of bad luck here, like the statistics don't lie. The vast majority of my games, I will draw one of my 2 activators. We can do this. I just have to get lucky. I believe I can get lucky. Weird world. That's fun. That's not what I want. Immediately, we have cards that can get played instead of Lady Sif. And even if I play Lady Sif, I won't get my Ghost Rider. Do play Lady Sif though. So, got that going for us. Namor, Claw, Cosmo. Is he playing an ongoing deck? Well, he could have just gotten my Agatha. He is playing an ongoing deck. That is so weird. That is so weird. Alright. Well. You got Sera. He's snapping, so he's gonna play out Agatha. What if he plays it out in the middle? Man, that would be something. That would be something. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, so he didn't get my Agatha, because then he would have played that here.
This land can never be fully.
But he could have gotten my Agatha now. In which case I can absolutely win this. I can absolutely win this. Because he might only play Agatha and nothing else. So if I just do like this, I'll take the right lane. And his Agatha is going to take one of the other lanes. He didn't get the Agatha. No, he did. Got him. Sexy. Okay, we're back up to being 1 cube away, I think. Yep, 1 cube away. We got this. Get some gold. This might be it. See, shouldn't get cocky. Play Loki. Get an Agatha. Then everything just gets screwed up for you. Okay, we got a good start. We have the collector, we have Loki. We just have to not get screwed by a location. Our opponent is playing Destroy, that's pretty fine. Collector in Cloning Vats is actually bad. That means we're going to get another collector in our hand, which normally would be good. But there's the risk that Agatha is going to play another collector instead of playing Loki. Which is exactly what happened. So now we can get screwed. Like, obviously this is a strong play. This play in itself is fine. Just pumping a bunch of collectors in the cloning vats. I mean, it's... Okay, we're cooking. We're cooking. We are cooking here. Is he playing some sort of hazmat stuff? Because I can get a Luke Cage here. Yes, I got a Luke Cage. So if he has some sort of hazmat strategy, then who cares, right? Now the only problem is my cards cost too little, so I can't play anything here. I can only play mid lane. Whatever I play in the mid lane, I'm gonna get. It's risky to play another Loki. I mean, obviously the collectors are gonna get so strong, but what if I don't get another Luke Cage? But come on. There's just no way I'm not doing this. So I didn't get the Luke Cage, but this is hilarious. Okay, final turn. Can't play anything in Crimson Cosmos. What we can do is we can steal his Luke Cage with our rogue. I love that. I can play Sera here, but then I can't play anything else. I think it's probably better to just go for this lane. And play another Loki. Sure. Sure, let's see what happens. Steal Luke Cage. that can screw him over real bad. If he plays like Hazmat now, then he's just gonna kill himself. Maximus is fine. Polaris, that's fine. Shadow King, that's fine. Surfer, that's fine. We win. Infinite. There we go. Boom. Ah. Gorgeous. Marvelous. Fantastic. And my standing is rank 12,000. With 7,000 snap points. Okay. Well, now we can work on our ranking. But for now, we get one of the nicest looking infinite card backs that they have ever printed. So, Agatha Harkness. We got infinite with Agatha Harkness, which is sometimes a very frustrating experience, but it is a strong deck. You can absolutely climb with this. And the change that I would recommend making later on is that when Mobius gets printed and Loki is going to be like a bit weaker because of it, then you're not going to face as many Loki decks anymore. And when you don't face Loki decks as much anymore, then you won't need the Collector in the deck. The Collector is only good in this deck because you're facing so many Loki decks. But he does sometimes screw over your plays because Agatha, does her thing. So you can take out the Collector later, put in something else instead. You can put in Jubilee as a failsafe, so even if you don't draw your activators on turn 3, turn 4, sometimes you can play Jubilee and she plays an activator. You can put in another 5-cost card like Arrow. You can still have your Black Bolt play, so you can do like Arrow, Stature on turn 6, which is pretty strong. A couple of different ways you can go about it. But for now, this is the version of the deck I'm playing. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun and pretty strong. So, yeah. That's this month's Infinite Climb. Did it in week 1. That's cool. Well, thanks for watching, people. I will see you again some other time for something completely different.